On behalf of the House Republican Caucus, we appreciate the opportunity to offer testimony in support of House Bill 6735, an act prohibiting the sale of real property near state or federal military installations to a foreign entity. I'm a retired Army officer with 28 years of service, and I'm also a retired officer from the Department of Homeland Security with 16 additional years of service. For that entire period of service, I've worked as an intelligence officer. This bill is near and dear to my heart as I have worked at the federal, state, and local levels to prevent foreign actors from collecting intelligence on military installations and trying to gain a military advantage over us. National security remains a top priority for Congress and should be equally important to our state legislature. The media has recently focused on land transactions by unfriendly foreign entities and governments, namely Russia and China. Connecticut is not immune to similar acquisitions, as we are home to the United States Coast Guard Academy, Naval Submarine Base New London, and the 103rd Airlift Wing. Connecticut National Guard also has multiple locations around the state. All of these military installations are vital assets in protecting our national security interests, and the state legislature should enact legislation that protects the security of such critical military installations. Between January 2023 and July 2024, several states have adopted laws that in one way or another prohibit foreign countries or foreign entities from purchasing certain sensitive real property. For example, Alabama has banned property within 10 miles of military installations. Tennessee has banned the sale of all property surrounding military installations. Instead of a full ban, other states have listed specific countries or referenced lists of countries compiled by federal agencies that would be subject to the ban. To protect our security and military installations from foreign influence, our caucus would like to see this bill prevent the sale or acquisition of all land surrounding both state and federal military installations throughout the state to specific foreign entities such as Russia or China. In closing, we thank the committee for allowing us to testify in support of House Bill 6735, an act prohibiting the sale of real property near state or federal military installations to a foreign entity, and ask that the committee, in the interest of state and national security, pass the bill on to the full legislature for a vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony with us today. I appreciate it. This is an interesting topic for us to be considering at the state legislature, and I appreciate the conversation. I have one technical question. As you see a bill like this drafted, do you want specific nations referenced, or do you want the relationship between our nation and foreign nations to be the determination about whether or not a foreign entity can purchase the land?
Best way to answer that is to say, for starters, I'd start with the two bad boys that you've already seen in this bill, China and Russia. And we can have further discussion on the side about any other nations or actors that may need to be included on the exclusion list.
Representative, are you aware if anything's passed at the federal level regarding preventing land acquisitions by
Well,
foreign
I know they are
entities?
pursuing it if they haven't actually passed it yet. As we said, in certain states, they've passed it on their own. Again, they're pertaining primarily to federal military installations. We could go much farther. I don't want to do that here. We'll stick to this bill. We could look at government contractors too, but that's a story for another day. But yes, the federal government is definitely interested in this.
No, it's a dangerous world. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair.
Thanks for the question.
Can you just talk about, the companies that, DOD companies in this state? Because I'm aware of being a former submarine person.
Yep.
I'm aware there are some companies close by. I know you were concerned with the main facilities, but maybe just explain what you know from your Homeland Security background, just about support companies in Connecticut.
Well, for the ones that we need to be concerned about, there are 5 that are large companies. One is Raytheon. They're based in Massachusetts, but they have significant operations here in Connecticut. General Dynamics with Electric Boat in Groton, making submarines. Pratt and Whitney, Raytheon, Northrop Grumman is represented here. And we can't forget Sikorsky in Stratford and the Bridgeport area with the helicopters. And just to go beyond that, there are many, many other contractors for the government that may make little components like this. That's not a big issue, but submarines and helicopters are. We need to consider that.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Madam Chair.
I appreciate it. I just want to clarify for the point of future drafting, is it your recommendation or thought that we should add military affiliated subcontractors to also addition to the prohibition?
I think the reason behind all of this is that we're trying to prevent our enemies from learning of advances in technology that we have and prevent the theft of intellectual property. We want to prevent them from learning about troop movements, and we want to prevent them from learning if there are key individuals working on specific military matters. So it goes beyond just the initial business. There are a lot of aspects to this, but I think we can start with the bill as is.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I thank you for your bill introduction and for your advocacy.